Hey y'all, welcome back to the range. I'm Jared Paul, and today we're getting started on a big project for spring. We're getting our fruit and vegetable garden ready. Down there, boom boom, Laura and I, within that white fenced in area, there's 3 fruit and vegetable beds. We've got some garlic started in one already, raspberries, blackberries, strawberries in another. And yeah, so we're gonna go out and get our tomato, peppers, and some squash, maybe a couple of random plants today, and get those planted. So I'll show you what we did to prep for all of that. And then actually a pretty big project I had set up, if you've been following, a 500 white spruce tree farm down there in the back, 10 rows of 50. And they've gone through about a year and 2 months, so they're officially settled in. So I went through and we removed all of the dead trees. So there's 393 survivors out of 500. So about 4 out of 5, not too bad. The natural attrition rate is about half on, first year plugs. So now they're 2-year plugs, and well, not plugs, they're 2-year trees, and I'm really excited. They look like they're going to do really well this year. So rather than watering so far away and dealing with the rows, it just didn't work in what used to be a wild flower field. The wildflowers and the weeds won. So I had done cardboard and tons of bark mulch that I got from the power company on top of the cardboard as a weed barrier, and then put the trees within sandbags in rows on top of it. And the weeds, they just have gone crazy. So I recently mowed it down with the tractor, and I said, you know what, let's get these trees moved. So the project this holiday weekend is going to be to get 393 white spruce trees, Picea glauca, down in 5 rows of 75 across the back of the fruit and vegetable garden. And if we run out of room down there, I'm going to add them right here to this raised tree bed, which I have some of the extra white spruce growing already. So I'll get you a closer look. Hey Carl, you're throwing me off, buddy. That's Carl the rooster, if you don't know already. So all of that is what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. All right, y'all, so coming out off the side of the deck here, got all the bonsais up on there. Boom, boom. Got some blueberries here, a weeping cherry that was a rescue that I don't think is coming back. A couple of apple trees, some more raspberries, and some hydrangea and things. So the hydrangea I grew from cuttings, so those are pretty cool. So got the chicken coop here. This is my raised tree bed. So you see some of the Picea glauca right there. That's a nice one. And we have them planted on this side of it. I have a couple of oaks that I grew from seed right there and there that came back. So that's cool. When I mowed, I left this little patch to grow because we're going to get a bunch of wildflowers like you see against the chicken coop there. And so I wanted to leave that for the pollinators. So this is some topsoil. It's pretty dense topsoil with some manure, some aged manure in there. And then coming to my fancy gate here. Old chicken coop gate. So we have 1, 2, this one actually already has blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries in it. A little room for planting. And then 3 in the, well, above ground, but on the ground beds. So these are also on top of cardboard and chips, and then probably about 1.5 feet of topsoil mixed in there. And these are the garlic that are already growing because you plant those in October, early November. So I've got 5 pots. These are food safe pots with holes in them, buckets, excuse me. 5, 7, and 5, totaling 17. And those are going to house the majority of the tomatoes and peppers. I think that we read that squash or melons do well in a bed with garlic. And then I don't think it really matters. We'll probably just get a couple of randoms. That's what'll go in here with the berries. And then that third one, I don't know. I guess we'll catch up on that one. Laura has a plan. I don't know. So along the back here where you see all of the sandbags laid down, that's what all of the trees were planted in. So that's the 107 casualties bags laid out as an additional weed barrier towards the back of this garden on top of the wood chips to lay these trees on. So we did, I don't know, about 30 so far, because if you don't know, my wife is almost 36 weeks pregnant. So I can't work her too hard now that it's hot out, and you know, but you see, there's no way I could come out here, grab a tree, and then come and successfully place it down neatly from outside. So I would literally have to walk around every single time. So the way we're gonna do it is just like 10-minute increments. When it's not too hot, she stands in here, I hand her the tree, she places it down. So some of you out there might be like, are you crazy? But she gets up every day, has since we met, so over 5 years, and does 5 a.m. Fitness boot camp with me. So she has not stopped even one day being pregnant, even though she's about to pop with baby Stella. But so even if I told her, no, you can't help, she wouldn't listen to me. So there we go. Anyways, I'm actually excited to have them in here. They're all closer together now, and I'll be able to walk up and down and really see the progress. When they were in the field all spread out, boom, 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 it was more like I was setting up for a 5-year plan on the tree farm. You know, I hope you could see that. Let's see if I can zoom in more so you could see a row. So this is a row right here of trees, and then here's a row. They're in rows of 50s in those sandbags, 10 rows. But it was a 5-year plan, and I thought within 5 years, you know, I would remove the dead ones. Obviously, I would stagger as necessary, you know, as they grew up and got wider, and this would just be a great place to have it, not in the way on the property. But between the weeding that had to take place last year, and then over fall into spring here, and the distance that I have to drag the hose, you know, I end up having 3 hoses going, and it's not very convenient. So back to the drawing board. I'm not unwilling to admit when I'm wrong. So this is going to be take 2, phase 2 of the Picea glauca tree farm. All right, what we got? Oh, strawberry coming in there already. That's cool. So yeah, Laura and I are gonna go to the organic market, get our organic veggies and fruits, and when we come back, I will show you what we got and we'll plant them up. Stand by. All right, so here is the Delonix Regia right after Memorial Day weekend. So I think we're about a week out on pruning, as you can see. My camera doesn't like to focus, but there are buds all over this thing. There we go, that's better. Should have come around to the window side. So I'm pleased, my hard prune seems to be successful. Got lots of nice new budding. So you know, I may miss this, water it once a week. I'll just let it do its thing. All right, Carl. Millie. I'm trying to sneak up on this little bunny. Say hi. Millie, no. All right. We got a little bunny in the yard. You know what he's doing? He's looking at the veggie garden going, oh, they think they're going to keep me out this year. So, of course, Carl's sounding off. He's standing on top of his coop. You can see in there. Oh, just jumped down. Anyways. So, over here on the left, you see the darker green ones. Those are the trees that are planted directly into the raised tree garden. And they have not moved. They're growing in a lot of compost, grass compost, and sticks and leaves. And I don't know, I saw it on one YouTube video and I said, oh, what the heck? And then soil on top of that. And then the other ones, I just brought 33 up here because we're going to end up doing 50 trees in the raised tree bed. 17 of them were already here. And then I moved up 33. You see the lighter green ones and even some with a little bit of yellow. They're the ones that were in the tree farm, and they have healthy buds. So for whatever reason, these are nice and dark green and definitely healthier. So anyways, yeah. So Laura and I are just chipping away at it. See my beautiful bride, pregnant as ever. We're at the countdown, the 30-day countdown. So I just wanted to get a video out today because my only assistant is my beautiful bride. And so we got to take it slow. It hasn't been too hot, but it's either been raining or, 393 spruce trees and sandbags. It's a lot, even if I'm grabbing them and handing them to her, even putting them down repeatedly. So we put a 75 tree a day goal out there. So you see she's got them lined up really nice right there. We're just inside veggie garden. Got our tomatoes and peppers all in food grade safe buckets. We had really heavy rains over the weekends, but we have like 45 different veggie and fruit plants going, and one out of the 45 doesn't look too great. That's actually this one. But that's okay, because we paid for one butternut squash seedling, and there were like 3 plants in that little one. So I feel like we got 2 free, so now we just got 1 free. So some of these are darker green than others, some bright healthy green, some yellow, and some have like one tiny bud. Let's see, yeah, one of these, where I thought, and they aren't brittle at all. And so I thought they were dead initially, but after further inspection, there was probably 20 of them that I think are going to pull through. I think what happened was they either got some of the branches eaten by bunnies, or they literally were just covered by the snow for 2 months. And so whatever energy they had down in the roots maybe kicked off a bud or whatever. Hey, and you know what? In this video, there's been like a 6-day span of it. So if I repeated myself, any of this, please forgive me. I didn't remember. So so I moved 33 up there. Oh, so we have 160 here. And they look nice and neat. We're going across the back, probably run out of room and have to add 1 more row in the front, but there's still room between the veggie and fruit garden and the trees so that we could get between. Added my 2 rain barrels, and I don't know if you could tell, but there's like a 6-inch rise in soil on this side of the mulch, and then obviously the height of the sandbag. So now these paths in between all the weed barrier, I'm going to, once we get these trees moved, I'm going to get some extra mulch in here and just fill it up higher. So it's soil and sandbag level, just for added weed barrier, leveling it out, for the future. And then I got another rain barrel over here, and some more tomatoes and peppers up there, and things like pumpkins, and got a watermelon and the raspberry, blackberry, strawberry garden. So that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai, y'all. Haven't talked to you in a bit. Hope everybody's doing well. Hopefully everybody else is getting the good weather coming like we are here in the Northeast United States. So anyways, the countdown till baby Stella arrives, 30 days. We all be well, and cheers.